going on, guys, gals, aliens, and DGen freaks? Welcome back to the channel. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Now, what is going on, guys? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling well. Welcome to the hump week, hump part of the week, the Wednesday, the hump day. Can we get through it? All right, we got some bullish news, bearish news. We have all kinds of things happening in the markets today. We had Congress talking to Jerome Powell, having a hearing with Jerome Powell, grilling him, asking him all the questions, trying to get out of him everything that they can get out of the guy. And a lot of the times when Jerome Powell speaks, or also we get the CPI data came out, inflation data. Kind of a little bearish, but the market is actually, the market reacted in the green, and then it started to take a bit of a dump. So what I started to see here was that, look, they wanted to push the price up to a certain point and then smash us down, because you can see here with the large buy orders that came in on this was spot. So some of this is spot and futures all kind of put together in whale orders, large trades. You can see here that these trades, there was a lot of liquidity sitting down here at 94,000. And good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's feeling good. Shout out to Army Piper. I see that. Let me check here. Let me check and see what's going on. Let's go. So we had a nice redirect here. I think we had a nice little redirect here. Thank you for doing that, bro. I appreciate it. So let's keep going down this data, because this is what we were seeing. We were thinking, okay, we had some liquidity sitting down here. They pushed the price down. Then they had a nice, momentum kind of going to the upside. And then you can see here again, They said, no, we got more orders to fill. So then they wicked the price right back down and then shot it right back up. And so they're playing the games right now. I mean, they're playing the games hard. And this is just a chop market. Now, we remember how it is to be in a sideways choppy market, trading in between ranges, just kind of bouncing, bing-bonging around. It sucks. Like, this is what we want. Like, this is what we look for, is those bullish engulfing green candles, then a couple, couple little cool-offs, and then keep it going to the upside. That's what we actually like to see, because that kind of market is a lot easier to trade, because then at a point you're getting an entry, even on the day, the thing will just go up 10% in the day. So then at a point, like, get in an entry, and you can ride this thing. I mean, you can kind of, like how it happened here at like 76,000. It just went. It just started to go. But now you can see how the chop market, it's not the same. It's like you have to get in and out. You have to basically keep dodging bullets until we find an established real bottom to then go to the upside. So you can see here that it took a long, I mean, this was treacherous. This was just bing-bonging, going all over the place, and also in a descending pattern as well. And then we eventually blew off to the upside. Now this, if you're looking at it in terms of what has happened in the past, you can see here that this is the big consolidation and then a small consolidation. Every time we've had a small consolidation, after a big run, you can see small consolidation, run, big consolidation, run. And now could we be in that small consolidation to take us to the next run of 21%, 51%? If we're coming from the level that we're at right now, that would be bringing us up to a 50, 60%, conservative case of moving to that price range. And also, if you're looking at the RSI, the RSI doesn't look too bad from where we had the biggest pump coming out of the descending area right here. Because if you look at the RSI and where we kind of established that bottom, it was at 52,000. This was in September, guys. This is what's so crazy is that it wasn't even that long ago. It's only in just September that we were at $52,000. So that was that established bottom, and look where the RSI was, where we were at like 39, and now we're basically at the same RSI, but we're at 95K. So that's really interesting. So it's just hard to tell if we're going to bounce off of this 92 support again, because every time we've done it, every time we've gone up to this level, we just bounce down, hit this level, and now from hitting 92 the last time, we have not successfully been able to get back up where we were previously at like 105, 106. We're down below the 20 SMA. If you're looking at the daily on a Bollinger Band, we're below the 20 SMA. We're looking like we're about to touch the Bollinger Band again. So where could we go, guys? Where could we go? Now, I've been telling myself I don't want to trade these markets right now. I want to figure out where the price is going to take us. Like, let the market come to us. We don't want to chase the market. We don't want to chase the trades. We want to come at the market with a clear head, no FOMO, no emotion. We had a just terrible couple of weeks where we were letting all of that get to us, the Trump pump and the, just all of the craziness on the Solana chain, and also trying to trade the markets, trade the altcoins. This market has been, if you're not in and out, being very aggressive and almost robotic, then you are going to get smashed. In an easy way, if you are going to trade these markets, like for instance, you see that liquidity is getting pushed down. You can follow the large orders. You can follow where they're still wanting to put liquidity, where there's high liquidity sitting at with these orders. You can also see where it's sitting at certain prices for sell orders whenever it hits a certain price, which is, at like 98.9. You can kind of correlate that to your trade and think that the whales and the exchanges are what really are moving the price. And then you got stuff like this. Like, this is crazy. Like, I've been thinking this has been happening, and people like Marty Part are actually going in and doing the investigation. He's like, okay, there's some of the breaking news, so we'll get into the news here. Why did Binance sell off arguably their biggest edge in their control of crypto pricing, which was their Bitcoin? They had Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and they sold like 90%. They sold a lot of it. And so the speculation is that, okay, well, why did they sell it? Like, what was did they capitulate? Are they selling it because they think because the price is going to dump here pretty soon? Did they sell it OTC for to fill someone else's bags? Who knows? There's all kinds of things. So here's the speculation that Marty Party was thinking. Okay, to cause capitulation, as they do, because exchanges are controlling a lot of what the buying and selling pressure on Bitcoin for when it comes to exchange, the futures trading, spot trading. So was there U.S. coercion? Perhaps part of the settlement was to exit the crypto in 2025. So for Binance, the whole Binance deal with the U.S. government, the DOJ, CZ paying the fine of $4.6 whatever billion, also Binance themselves having to pay. What was in that deal? We have no idea. Could be all kinds of stuff. Was this all part of the plea deal to onshore crypto? Was Coinbase sending stablecoin to buy Binance assets since I started reporting on this in early January to maintain market price stability? And he's saying he has all the evidence. And then there's this connection between Wintermute and how was Wintermute involved? So why are they selling now, and why did they not sell at 108,000 when it was around the top? It's a good question. Why was this not executed OTC? Okay, so it wasn't OTC. It was just like straight up. Okay. This is all part of the original, and so this is what he thinks. This is all part of the original plan in the aftermath of the plan, which started with the FTX takedown, the BlackRock accumulation, and now the strategic sovereign corporate reserve strategies, which is really interesting because I thought to myself, okay, if there's 21 states now, according to recent news, that are 21 United States that are offering bills for legislation to consider strategic reserves for these specific states. Could be that almost every state will then set up their own fund and their own reserve and state reserves in Bitcoin, like a percentage. It's not, obviously. And what I think could be happening here is that if I was going to be the person advocating or the person or a group of people that has somewhat of a control of price fluctuations, then, and you have all these people that are wanting to buy Bitcoin and get in and set up their reserves and start stockpiling it, you'd probably want it to be maybe as cheap as you can get it. Like, as cheap as you can get it. How low could you get it to go before Bitcoin just explodes from people buying it at such low prices? And because of the miners have to be profitable, which makes the Bitcoin price go up in its natural form of just this tech of the miners and the programming and the way that Bitcoin operates and what it costs to actually operate the miners. Then that is why Bitcoin has historically gone kind of up and down in an upwards trajectory, even though it's gone down and it's volatile. That's what makes it what it is. But they can only bring it down so much. So is that what they're doing? Are they trying to bring it down to a particular price so then their buddies, the people that are trying to stockpile it, whatever you want to call it. Is it a stockpile? Is it a reserve? Is it a wealth fund? Whatever you want to call it, they're freaking buying it. But they want to buy it at, I guess, whatever price, best price. BlackRock was buying down. I mean, they were buying down here, at like 32. I mean, they're probably buying right here under 32K for the ETF, and then now that is a 200% return from January of last year. And so not everyone was buying at that time. Not everyone. So now that there's going to be all these buyers, you have to think to yourself, like, where could they potentially fill orders? There is still on the table the CME gap. Now, this one could be the gap to start the wicked run. This could be on the table. I don't want to take that off the table. But I'm not bearish. I'm still super bullish, but this thing right here, this giant gap, there's a lot of liquidity sitting here, I bet, at 80K. And then they would love to bring the price down to 80K and then bounce it from there. It would absolutely destroy and nuke the market, because then that would be a 15% move down on Bitcoin. alts would probably I mean, the memes would get slaughtered. I mean, the memes would get completely destroyed. I really don't, I don't want you guys to think that that's not going to happen, because the moment you think it won't, it will. It will. The moment everyone thinks that that's not going to happen is the moment that the whales destroy you. I bet there's some massive buys. I mean, yeah, it's more so. There's more buys here at 89 and 90. But holy crap, that CME gap is a little scary. It doesn't look too good. I would like to play this girl's response to the IRS, but it has a lot of cursing, a lot of F-bombs, so we'll save it. But basically, her rant was that why do I have to pay the IRS or pay to get my tax return done to then also have the IRS tell me that I'm wrong, but then they know the number. Like, they know the number, but you have to tell them the number, and if you don't know the number, then they could legally come after you. It's really crazy. So, but I like her gripe. If you wanna, I don't know did I repost it, or I'll just repost it and you can watch it. Oh yeah, and so I'd love to tell you guys kind of one of the excuse me. Make sure you hit the like button. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit the like button. We're gonna get into all the things that are in the title here. You know, Jailstool. We're gonna get into the Dave Portnoy thing. Him trying to, I mean, it's funny because there's people say no, he's not good for crypto, and then he's also good for crypto because with what he's able to do with bringing attention to something, and then actually putting his money where his mouth is. If he's not going to sell, he's going to actually like hold the thing up into however long it's going to go. He's going to try and get it on exchanges, but then people are still selling and dumping and proving to him that we are actually complete goblins and degenerates. And so we'll see what happens. So I'm curious. We already see it on exchanges. I mean, it's on KCEX. I mean, it's being listed. I mean, I think it is just futures. I don't even know if it's spot. Yeah, so it's just futures right now. No, there's no spot or anything. If you want to get it spot, then you'd have to just like do your swapping. But it's just interesting. It just shows that like that no matter how hard you try to get people to believe in something or stick with some kind of thing, like maybe the perfect example where it actually did work was the GameStop. So that was one of the biggest coordinated efforts of a short squeeze on Wall Street for GameStop. That was a massive coordinated effort through the Reddit community. And that's actually what spurred also the Doge run, and the Dogecoin run was a coordinated effort of mogging the financial system. And so people forget that if you actually did a coordinated effort mog with a coin or some type of thing, that if enough people bought the damn chart and didn't sell it at a certain point, then it would pump the chart. It's just basic supply and demand mechanism on the chart. More people buy than selling the damn thing. Price goes up if the tokenomics meet that type of criteria where it could affect the chart in the way that it would sustain the chart to the upside. But we've become such gamblers and degenerates that we can't even last a day. So there's something to think about and ponder on that thought when analyzing the crypto markets. Are there tokens that have that type of mentality where it's more of a hodl than a sell. There's more holders than there are people coming in and selling and being tourists, I guess. Doesn't mean you're not taking profits. Like, that's to say, like, look, you know, there's people that are forever Dogecoiners and maybe have made millions on Dogecoin, and they hold Dogecoin. Like, they still hold Dogecoin. They probably will still buy it, but they were very successful if they if they were all in it. Guarantee you they still buy Doge because and they will always promote Doge. They'll always talk about Doge. It'll be their favorite coin. And it's kind of like Bitcoin for people. Bitcoin, people who stuck with it, they're like, I'm going to forever talk about Bitcoin and try and orange pill people. They end up on a stage talking about Bitcoin because it changed their life, because they were able to cut through the noise and see the potential. So not every coin is going to do that. Like, it's not going to do that. We know this to be true. So then you have to make a choice. You're like, okay, I'll play the casino. I'll either get burned or make a win, hit the cherries 3 in a row, or I'm going to lose it all. Or am I going to actually pick something that I believe in, research it, do the research, do the price data, look at what's been historical on it, and then am I going to go in on size with that? Because then it makes a little bit more sense. It might not hurt as bad, you know, by just believing in something a little bit more. And it could just be like, hey, you'd start doing more research into Chainlink. You believe more in I mean, when people are Link Marines, I mean, you talk about people that want to hold a chart. Like, when I've talked to people that like Chainlink, they're like a Link Marine, and they're like, I'm not selling it until it's like at $150. Like, they have these price points of when they're not selling it, like, and they're almost to a naivety point where they're like, I'm gonna freaking hold this thing. But like, I don't know, do you need that for your coin? You might. It's like Michael Saylor saying, don't sell your Bitcoin. Your Bitcoin is going to be like having land in Manhattan in the future. Like, if you bought land in Manhattan in the 20s and you held it in your family till now, your family will be very wealthy because you can sell portions of the land or a property or whatever it is that you had for millions and millions of dollars. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. And then if you want to go down the pipe and say, well, I really believe in Solana, it could be $1,000 this cycle, then you can have your fun with some Solana. I don't know. Do you guys agree? How do you feel about that? Let's see how many people we got watching across all platforms. Let's go. I don't know if this is a glitch, but it shows that there's 215 people watching on X. What's up? Let's go. All right, well, I'm going to show you guys some cool stuff that I've been pondering on if I'm going to use or not. I just want to show you because I actually really think I've been seeing the screenshots of this and how it's been operating for other people. I haven't bought the token yet because you have to buy the token, the GG token, the Game Gear token, to be able to access the app. But you connect your wallet, it checks if you have the coin, and then this thing has agents working inside here, so you can actually use a trading bot agent, get a trench report. Now there's also a token screener in here, which that's new. I didn't see that. You can see the live trades, and you can also go into the agent picks. And then whilst you're doing that, you can go into... No, I know. That's why I like it. It's totally on purpose. It's not supposed to be like this fancy thing. No, it's supposed to look like Windows XP. I can tell you, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But that's actually the meta right now, is to not be building these flashy. It's actually to bring people back into the nostalgia of the Windows XP era. Like you're playing World of Warcraft, or you're playing StarCraft or Diablo 2, you know, I mean, it kind of feels like that. But this is going back classic. You can actually play arcade games, Genesis. It looks like you can do Flash, PC Engine. So I haven't tested it. I don't even know if it works. I think it everyone's been telling me. I messaged people. I'm like, does this actually work? Is this fake? And they said it works. You just have to have the token. That's how you unlock all the stuff. And now you can see if people are just online or if they're trading. You can kind of see their status of what they're actually doing here on the side. And there's also a chat. So, interesting. Very, very interesting. But I think it's pretty cool. It's just like old school Windows XP, Game Gear. I haven't tested it out. I haven't bought a single token yet, but I'm probably going to buy some of the tokens so then I can actually test it, because I love stuff like this. I think this is very creative. All right, so I just want to remind you guys that if you are going to the Bitcoin conference, which I'm pretty sure most of you are, I would love for you to use my link. I have an affiliate link for the Bitcoin conference, so then you can get 10% off. All you have to do is use my offer code Dano. So you just type that in and apply the code, and you will get 10% off any of the passes. So you have the Bitcoin Week Pass, the Whale Pass, you got the Industry Pass, Festival Pass. And the difference between these, just so you guys know, because some people get confused, they'll buy the Festival Pass and think they can go on the first day. It's only for the second and third day. You have to have the Industry Pass to be able to go all 3 days, just so you know. So if you want the full experience, then you have to get the Industry Pass. So why not use my code and use the offer code Dano? Super easy to remember, and the link I just posted, so make sure you click on that. I know most of you are going. Most of you are going, and if you haven't been before, you should definitely consider going. Super, super bullish. It'll make you think about Bitcoin. If you haven't already been thinking about it in a different type of way, it'll really help you to just see the culture. You get all these different types of talks. You see like the sheer scope of Bitcoin and what's happening, and it starts to get you real bullish. So it's a really good fire starter, fire burner for you in your crypto journey, wherever you are in it. So I highly suggest it. And also, I want to remind you guys that I have a pretty cool link tree. And if you want to book a one-on-one and you have a crypto project, or you have anything that you're involved with that you think I should talk about, or you want to come on the live and we can maybe schedule a collab together or something like that, book a one-on-one. And also, if you're just like completely brand new into crypto, you don't know how to set up a wallet, you don't even know how to transfer crypto from wallet to wallet, you don't know from nothing, just zero, you're on the ground, I have a opportunity for you to book a just one-on-one, kind of like a tutoring session, and it's for an hour. And so you can check that out. If you know anyone that would benefit from that, you can also send this link their way. And yeah, it'd be cool, because we'll screen share. I'll write down your seed phrase for you. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. But yeah, no, but I think it would be very beneficial for someone who has just from just straight up zero, hasn't done anything. And I can tell them all the mistakes that I've made, all the ways that they can avoid getting scammed or clicking on the wrong link, and just kind of get them prepared. So check that out. All right, so let's see what Bitcoin's doing right now. So, like I said, guys, I mean, they're going to play the games. They're going to play the games hard. The data came out with that CPI data, so let's kind of... real quick, let's address something. I don't know what's going on, but for the past 24 hours, no one knows where Ben Armstrong is. I don't know if you guys know, but no one knows where he is. Like, Cassie, his girlfriend, posted 17 hours ago, like, yo, if you have heard from Ben in the last 24 hours, please DM me. So crazy. So it's not uncommon for someone to kind of disappear, not check their phone, and then they'll, most of the time they come back and you're like, what the hell? But still very worrisome, I'm sure, for his family, his kids, and like it just across the board. So it's not good. So if you've seen Ben and you know where he is, you should 100% like message someone and because that's not cool. So, but yeah, I hope he's doing okay. Like I hope he's good. Because that's not good. Whatever he's going through, if he's going through something right now, but yeah, just if anyone has seen him, definitely report it because yeah, that's like, it's not cool. Not good. So yeah, if you've seen Ben Armstrong. All right. So let's look at the CPI data. So inflation climbs to 3% in U.S. for January. So the Fed's worst nightmare just got worse. CPI inflation just officially jumped to 0.5% in 1 month, largest increase since August 2023. Interesting. So yeah, so it's kind of it's not looking too good. It's really not looking too hot. But then we have some bullish news, though. We have some bullish news on Crow. So Crypto.com secures regulatory approval to operate across all European Economic Area member states. That means Crypto.com and the Crow token and all these things that they've been offering, it's going to start pumping hard. Like I've showed you guys the Crow chart. I've been telling you about it. I'm bullish on it for a reason. I mean, they already have like all of this regulatory green lighting from the United States and the Trump administration and kind of how they're operating. I think Crypto.com is going to outpace every single crypto app for a very specific reason. Okay. Because I work outside of crypto. I do audio visual stuff. I'm a musician. I play shows. I run sound for stuff and I listen to people and what they do, what they're doing, the security guards and what they're doing? They're sports betting. A lot. All the time. Sports betting. It's huge. It's a big market. You guys probably already know this. And Crypto.com is tapping into this because they're very smart. They have a sports betting section on the Crypto.com app. And also they added stocks. So you can buy your Tesla stock, your Apple stock, your Nvidia stock. I think they're probably even going to add in some of the options for the ETFs. So there's just going to be a crap ton of volume coming in to Crypto.com. And I think ultimately it'll just make the Crow token pump really, really hard. So from where it's sitting at right now, even if we get a massive crash on Bitcoin and we get alts getting destroyed and we go back down to these low levels at like 4 cents, it doesn't matter because at that point, even from here or 4 cents, who cares? Because if it's going back up to its all-time high from the previous market or even close to it, or if it breaks up to out of this descending, like this was supposed to be a nice breakout of the descending wedge here, got way more of a breakdown to the downside. We were thinking this would at least kind of start to tank, start to clean up, but it ain't cleaning up because alts are getting smashed. 36 cents from where it's currently sitting is a 311% move to the upside. Easy buy with that narrative and all the bullishness that I just told you. But obviously, it's not financial advice. You have to do your own research. I've just noticed over time that Crypto.com has been the most resilient company that the app hasn't done any kind of weird stuff. You can actually get a hold of them. If you have issues with the card or a trade or something, they're pretty good about getting back to you. So I've just kind of noticed that it was one of the apps that didn't capitulate completely and have a Caroline or a Sam Bankman-Fried or a Charles or a Majinski, whatever the guy's name is, Celsius, BlockFi, 3 Hours Capital, Voyager. While all those were stealing and doing back-end dealings and ruining everything for everyone else in the classroom by being a punk, Crypto.com actually survived. So that's what I've noticed. And I'm like, okay, I've narrowed down the things that have stood the test of time, and I'd be comfortable holding these into the next 6 months of this run and this year and the peak prices that I think we're actually headed to. Doge is being one of them, Crow being one of them, the ticker Bitcoin being one of them, Pepe, and Bitcoin. Oh, and XYO. That's just my own personal list that I've just wanted to become pretty much now perma bullish on. And anything else is just like, hey, if I don't think it's going to do better than this, XYO, or the things that I just mentioned, then why am I putting money into it? That is how I'm going about my strategies. Like, why am I going to put money into something else that I don't believe in, have done enough research on as much as I've done on either these particular coins and just in Bitcoin? So I'm trying to make it easy for myself. Even though I know there's going to be opportunities, there's always going to be something new. There's going to be something to chase. For instance, like Captain B&B, I was literally sitting on the toilet, seeing the post at like $1 million market cap, thinking that could probably be a pretty strong narrative, and I didn't do anything. I had just enough of a chance as anyone else, but I just chose not to do anything. But here's the deal. There's going to be like, there's going to be tons of things that are going to, whatever price you got into, if you're able to sell and it has liquidity, you could get the same move. So, but that's if you want to get rich quick, which is normally not the game you want to play, is not the get rich quick. You want to steadily accumulate and treat not everything, but the things that, like I said, like I have my stuff that I believe in. So I'm treating these as more of not a casino. Like, I don't want to treat XYO or Pepe or Bitcoin or Dogecoin. I don't want it to be or Solana. Like, even Solana, I don't want to, because like if Solana truly, if you think about it, truly, if Solana is going to $1,000, and this is Raul Paul, like he's been in the game for a hot minute. And he's like, look, when Solana gets its breakout moment, $1,000 is easy on the table. We've marked it up here as like our conservative case for Solana in April was like 900. I think that's where we could probably see obvious like massive rejection up at a 900 point, or it just rips to 1,000. But the way it's looking, where the RSI is sitting, and the trajectory of builders and people and liquidity coming into Solana, it's not even close to what like Ethereum's and like market cap is right now in terms of like the size of what like, you know, Ethereum or XRP. It's very similar, but market cap to BNB though, but their supply is completely different. They have like more than half the supply. or doubled the supply, I should say, than what BNB has. And that's if you think about why a coin's price is the way it is. It's what the circulating supply is, and the fully diluted market cap. Also, if there's any more that isn't that like the max supply it could have, and it still isn't in the market yet. But all it takes is more injection of liquidity into Sol through, if they get more institutional adoption, it does become NASDAQ on-chain trading, then $1,000 Solana is definitely on the table. And then all you have to do is just DCA and just be like, yeah, I'll just freaking DCA this thing. Because then you got some time. So I'm kind of having the same mentality, like with something that is on more of on the edge, which is the Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu. I look at this chart. From the moment that it's gone into this range, from where it pumped originally, it's just been like a nice do. Just go, like, you see how it's not going the other way like this? It's going this way. It's going this way, my friends. This isn't the only chart that looks like this. There's other charts that look like this. But this one looks great. This is why I'm like, okay. This is how I can see a 63-cent ticker in June. Reliant on the metrics and everything I was just telling you about Bitcoin. You got to think about the Bitcoin dominance, the damn dominance. If altcoins ain't doing nothing until we get this. Altcoins are not going to do anything that you want them to do until Bitcoin dominance gets smashed. Nice. Kenneth said, Crow is where I bought my first Shiba Inu in 2021. Yeah, it was probably with a lot of people. Because crypto.com has always been pretty bullish on their meme listings. They've always had a pretty decent amount of memes. The only gripe that I have with crypto.com is like, it would, like, if you saw a coin on there that was tradable, all of a sudden you would go on the next day and it wasn't tradable. And they weren't very good at telling you right off the bat, like, hey, we're gonna like delist these coins. They were just like, oh, it's delisted. I don't see it anymore. Yeah, it's like, what is going on? Like trying to futures trade these meme coins is just wild. Because if you can get a good entry, if you can actually get a decent entry, you can really ride up, but you have to take profits so fast. That's the key. Is like, if you get in and you're able to get on a bounce, like for instance right here, like for instance we have this Jailstool, this Dave Portnoy backed coin. It's not his coin, but he's adopted it in a sense of just buying it. And just with that fact of just this attention on it could continue it to try and push right back, even just maybe into this level right here. So good little short-term kind of scalp trade that you can do on some of these memes that are just getting the trending aspect happening for it, which ultimately could send people into trying to trade it, hit it in some certain levels. I mean, you catch a 13%, and if you just wanted to at least maybe see if it can just push and just get hit on the resistance on this wick and try and ride it up, you just have to be quick on the draw. That is how you can come in and enter in the casino, but you have to know that like you need to be able to set your stop losses. You got to set your stop losses. Make sure you're break even whenever you go up and you're in profit. So like say you just entered in now. Say we got an entry, you're going to limit right here. Let's see if you can, you limit right here in this spot. You're going to set your stop loss probably. I mean, I would go as far as setting it literally like right here. And it all depends on your leverage as well, because then that's 1% right there. 1% down. If you're 2x, that's going to be, you're setting it at a 20% stop loss, negative 20%. So you're willing to risk that 20% to then gain from your entry, which was maybe right here now, to ride it up to that point of control, the 3.8, and that'd be a 3% move to the upside. You immediately take profit on the 3%. You can kind of see it playing out right now. And then once you solidify that profit, you can it could be 25%, it could be 50%, it could be 75%, but you still have margin in the trade at that point to then continue the run if it starts to run, and then your next take profit would be at the top of the wick up here top at 8 cents. And then if anything reverses on you, or the trade or the whatever it is starts to play out to the downside, you can still then take your stop loss, because then now you've been in profit. So you take your stop loss and you move it up to either break even or still in profit. So then no matter what, you got out of the trade, you made profit, and you were able to then completely exit the trade completely, where you're not in a danger zone. And you can do this. So say you did this, at a point, it doesn't matter what the leverage is, because your leverage doesn't matter if you have a good risk strategy in place to say, I'm willing to take a 10% lick off of this entry, and then know once I'm in profit, I can immediately bring the stop loss to break even, to know that if my trade is invalidated, then it will get cleared. And you can set the TP1 to go ahead and take. You can even do it by a limit order. Don't even have to do it by take profit. You can go limit. You can say, all right, I'm going to limit, and go right to that limit. And you can put that limit in and close the limit right here, and just say, I'm going to close at 25% right here. And then you can do it that way. And then with whatever margin you used or whatever leverage you used, at that point, it doesn't matter. What were you willing to risk? The risk to reward ratio. So we had put it here. We had the stop loss. It was kind of almost set there. David Gelfin, this is on KCEX. So I do have a link in the description. I just made a video on them today. And this isn't spot. This is the futures. This is a perpetuals contract. So, this is what I'm using as an example of just kind of these movements on these memes. Like I'm looking at the 15-minute. And as we were looking, and we said, look, if we were going to get into a trade, it was about halfway through this candle. And we said, if just broke down exactly how we would be analyzing this through doing it on a limit order. But yeah, I think, yeah, it is on Kraken too. So you can obviously put in limits on that as well. But you can see here, it basically went almost up to the point of control, or it's looking like it wants to trade up to the point of control. And then that's where we would have put our take profit, set the stop loss at a break even, and then see if it wants to break through. If it does, then you have the trade open still. If it doesn't, then it closes the trade, and then you can wait and see what the market's going to do. Is it going to have a pullback? And then you could be watching Bitcoin at the same time and being like, well, damn, that thing is breaking out. Which is going to then carry the rest of the market. For instance, like something, like Pepe. Pepe's doing a similar move. You see these green candles. ETH is actually moving now. ETH is moving, so that could be also a good sign. We got a nice green candle on ETH. 2.5% in a 45-minute candle. ETH looks like it's pumping, actually. ETH looks like it's eyeing 2,800. Did ETH just wake up? I think ETH might have just woken up. And thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button. Would really appreciate the smashed likes. I don't know where all these people came from on X. 242 people. If all of you came in and also subscribed to the YouTube channel, that would be amazing. So I'm going to give you the link. This should send to X, but no, it won't. Let's go to my live profile here and say hi. Don't grift. Make sure you say hi to all the X people. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. However you're watching, if you're at work, if you just have me in the AirPod, we really do appreciate it. All right, well, yeah, ETH is looking good. Bitcoin's looking good. Oh, let's look at that chart. You guys want to look at the ETH BTC chart? Where is it at? I mean, I think it... Did it bottom yet? I think it bottomed. Didn't it bottom like right here? Holy moly. Yeah, Bitcoin's eyeing something. Let's see. They want to fill this order. Yes, that's what I was looking at. I said Okay, they dumped it down here to fill this for this large order, and then they have a big buy order, or sorry, a sell order up at 97.9 at pretty much like 98, like right at 98K. There's a big sell order, which is right at the resistance from this area. So could be a decent trade here still, because you got 1.5% left of a move that can happen with these candles here, and then it's either we go to the next level, which would be then the 100K. But do you guys think that we would push 100K today? Do you think that they would actually let us get 100K today? Because then that's the top of the band. We're going to get resistance here, but then will it bring us back down here to the 20 SMA or send us here? So it's either or. We hit resistance and then we go. We just have to wait and see, but there's volume. I guess you would call it, would you call this a bullish divergence? I guess you would call that a bullish divergence of some sort. We still got some room to grow. Yeah, it's making things go. It's making things go. Let's refresh CoinMarketCap and see what the heck's going on. Virtuals is up the most in the top 100 here. Radium, H-bar, Floki. So this is kind of what's popping off right now on the price recovery. Sui, near protocol. Is he still in the hearing right now? Oh my gosh, they're grilling him. Really? He's still in the hearing? No way. Press Secretary Caroline Levitt holds a press briefing.
How much of that will transfer to the consumer? As you know, that can fall on the exporter, the importer, or the retailer, or the consumer.
Or in my case, manufacturers are on both ends of this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we really just don't.
So if that sort of analysis,
Gentleman's time has expired.
Congress, it would be great. So thank you.
The gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Norman's recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Powell. I appreciate you coming and addressing our body. In 2011, Vice Chairman Yellen made a statement about the concern about the long-term debt situation and the imbalance that we have with our budget. In the fourth quarter, when she made the statement, the federal debt held by the public was, as a percentage of GDP, was 64.75%. Now, the same debt to GDP as identified by CBO was 99% at the end of 24. Do you express the same concern that Ms. Yellen had about the severity of where we are with our continued long-term imbalance?
I have done so on many occasions. And essentially that the U.S. we're on an unsustainable path. And the debt level isn't unsustainable, but the path is sustainable, and certainly it's past time for Congress to work on that. But that's what I can say. I can't say more than that.
What do you think the benchmark would be? And we're in the middle of the budget situation now, trying to debate
Bitcoin,
particularly with reconciliation. What would you say is a benchmark that would ease?
Doge.
What level of cuts, in your opinion, would ease your concern over what we're doing. We're 37 trillion now, but when you add the agents, the mandatory spending we have on Social Security as examples, going bankrupt in 35, Highway Trust Fund running in balance. What level do you think will give you, I guess, some assurance that we're going to get our house in order?
So I don't have a specific number, it wouldn't be appropriate, but I will say this, in having looked at this, you know, the successful programs to get back on the right track, they tend to make progress over a long period of time. And in other words, you've got to get to a place where the economy is growing faster than the debt, and then you need to stay on that path for 20 years. This is not the kind of thing where we can fix it overnight. We just need to be making progress. And, you know, right now, we're running very large deficits at a time of full employment. So we need to start moving. You're either making progress or you're not. Right now, we're not. So the key thing is to just, you know, is for it to become a big issue, and then people work together. The things that need to be done are things that can only be done on a bipartisan basis. Only. These are the things that need to be dealt with, cannot be dealt with by one political party. I'll leave you with that.
It's going to be a tall order.
It is.
To get
The order
bipartisan.
only grows. It gets taller every year.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I guess the point he's trying to make is a good point. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's Republican, Democrat, whatever, Libertarian, whatever party you're about, you should be very concerned about the debt. You should be very concerned about the deficit. You should be very concerned about the interest that we're paying on the debt. And then we, as the American people, end up suffering because of it over time, down the road, if we have negligence and people that are doing a really terrible job in the government. And then you have people like Elon, who has been appointed by President Trump to do a full audit, and people are in the streets protesting it, which is hilarious. And it's just it's really fascinating to me that we've come to this point where we have people mad that now we're starting to at least now fully at getting exposure to where our money has been going, and it ain't where we voted for or where we would probably like it to go. And it leads us down a really interesting path of a type of revolution where we finally start to pull back the curtain a little bit. We finally start to see what we've deserved to see. Our hard-earned money being taken out of our paychecks every single year we've worked in the system, and then seeing that for historically, probably for longer than we would care to know, because it would probably make us even more angry, is that it's being wasted. And so why would if you're upset about that, or there's people that are in the streets that are protesting, or there's people that are the loudest about Elon doing this with this team, they have something to hide. They have something to hide, and they are part of the scheme. They're receiving their money or their backing or their grants or their whatever from stolen money slush funds, and they don't want it to end. So they are going to spin a narrative now that what they're doing is unconstitutional. Out completely insane. People are saying, "Oh, I just don't like the way that they're going about it." What? Okay, so maybe the way that the America even was founded, if you didn't like the way that was done, you wouldn't have an America. You'd have a British royalty monarch ran auxiliary of of that of what we were trying to escape. And you couldn't just go, oh, let's make a deal. No, they were like, we're the king, we're the top, we are the empire here. You're gonna do what we say. And we broke from that. And it didn't just, we had to do it in a way that was probably, if you were to ask a bunch of people to say, hey, we're going to do it, they would probably be like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. You're crazy. But it had to be done. And so now that Elon has been like, yeah, I'm pulling the curtains off this thing. We're going to reveal to the people where their money's going. And so that's how it has to be. And I'm all for it. I'm like, expose it all. I'm like, expose it all. And I love that the thing that's exposing it all is named after Doge, the meme coin. And that, my friends, is the state of the trenches as of right now. Follow the money, and it probably, a lot of that money is going to be leading into Bitcoin because of hyperinflation and where we are headed as a country, as a nation, as a world that is moving away from printed fiat cash, because they're just going to print that into infinity. And what are they going to put it into? They're probably going to keep putting it into Bitcoin and start minting stables. And there's going to be stable coins that we are going to use that are like probably going to be almost similar to the CBDC, but not quite called the CBDC. Maybe USDT or USDC just ends up becoming the de facto digital currency. Who freaking knows? But all I know is that I'm going to be holding Bitcoin. And I'm going to try and get as much as I can. Because if you think it's going to $1 million and you don't give a crap that it's 96 or 105 or 121 or 151 or 250,000, if you're willing to hold it and not be impatient and step out of the casino, then it doesn't matter. Because at this point, if you're going to hold it to $1 million, that's still 1,000% move to the upside. But you have to have patience. Now, all while that's happening, there's going to be a lot of stuff all in between there, like your altcoins, that are going to do triple that or quadruple that. We hope so. We at least hope. We can only hope. But it's an investment. It's a risk. It's all a risk. No one is here to tell you that when you invest your money into something that you are guaranteed a return. You're not guaranteed a return. You get the price that you deserve when you buy, and that's just it. If you knew about Bitcoin at 20K, and now you know it at and you know it now at 96, and now you believe in it, this is the price you deserve, is 97K. Now you DCA. It just kind of is what it is. And we've all probably been there to where we're like, okay, I now believe it now, but damn it, it's like 2-3x from where I could have just been believing in it a little bit more. I know. It's the Bitstamp chart. I can't help it. It's the damn Bitstamp chart. Stupid chart. Maybe the dominance chart. Let's look at the dominance chart. Because this is all we need to know if our alts are going to do anything. We need dominance to go down. We need it to just be here, like way down. It has to be here. It's the only way. It makes so much sense. The only way we're going to get an altcoin season is Bitcoin dominance has to go down to 56%. I really believe this. But like I said, guys, like I am focusing on something that can be completely different than you're focusing on. Like I have my things that I believe are going to do well. Like you guys know what they are. If you don't know what they are by now, if you're new to the channel, I really like XYO. I make videos on them. It's like my best performing content. Every time I make a video on XYO, people were very interested. I've known about this coin for a while. So it's something that I've kind of like, I've had this thing with because I've known about it. I've tested it. I've researched it. I've had different amounts of it. I still have my original Mind XYO from 2021. And there's just some cool stuff going on with it. I think it's very undervalued. So that's just my own personal pick because of those things. Has nothing to do with just, yeah, I mean, the chart, I think the chart looks good. Everything looks good on my end of like, okay, I feel like this could do well. I could be wrong, but for me, this is what I'm going in. XYO and then ticker Bitcoin of what I've explained about the meme thesis and how this could be one of the strongest kind of, meme culture coins and how the chart's been moving seems like we could be pushing into this stratosphere here. Now, this could be also caveated with the success of the Sproto Gremlins, which is an NFT project that at its peak was at 4 ETH. So if we get Sprotos being at the top of the list and then people that are NFT people understanding that, whoa, these Sprotos are really popular right now and they're worth thousands of dollars, like multiple, like 10 ETH floor, it could send ticker Bitcoin to a dollar just as of the connection with the Sprotos. So you can't forget about that of the aspect of the ticker. And then with Pepe, we've explained about Pepe that Pepe is doing similar stuff like Dogecoin did. So if it kind of rhymes with that chart, this is why we still believe Pepe is a decent meme hold and less of a gamble than a new launch or new memes or whatever it is that's going to distract you. Because it's done it to me before, and I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish on Pepe for it to be able to send to these levels here, which even if it does from where it's at right now, a 600% move to the upside in terms of market cap. If you're just looking at market cap, the market cap would go up to about, it would be close to, it would be like SHIB's, it'd be like SHIB's market cap or a little above SHIB's market cap. It'd be like a 10 billion market cap, probably close to that. But we're looking for the 40 billion. Like, I think if it does what Doge was doing, and Doge is sitting at 38 billion, it could sit under Doge, I think, at a clean 20 billion, 25 billion. And from where it's sitting at right now, that's pretty good. And it's just easy for me to go, okay, this is the easiest meme narrative, and it's been one of the highest traded tokens in terms of trading volume. That's what I've always loved about Pepe, that it's been able to still kind of hold up the trading volume across all markets, all coins. Really close up to Dogecoin. So we just want to keep it simple. If we could just have some patience, we would love to build up more patience. The patience with the spot bags, you know, like if you're trading, different story. You got all kinds of opportunities on the charts to trade and do that and play that game, but you want to have that long-term zoomed out bag that you just don't touch until, like we've told you, like we've shown you at least, that we think that Litecoin is going to be the metric of where you should start DCAing out of the market. If Litecoin is in between 275 and 358 in this range, that might be a good time to start scooping off the cream of the chart here. And it looks like we're kind of just going to trade volatility all the way up this curve here. And we're just going off of previous data from last bull run cycle, halving year, last bull run cycle, halving year. You can see it kind of did some similar stuff. So we're just kind of waiting for that similar move, which still gives us a really good opportunity. If you want to accumulate altcoins, they're still all down. They're still all down massively. Cardano still down massively from where its all-time highs were. AVAX massively down from its all-time highs. Chainlink. Same thing with the Crow. All right, guys. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Let's see if there's anything crazy happen with Powell. Oh, actually, I wanted to play a little portion of this because I liked what Elon said.
Complaint minimization. So then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people. I mean, these things, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical, I think. It's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone that's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. That's a case where, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there are a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve.
Because it's a massive scam. This is what's hilarious. It's just like we actually, for the first time ever, have a president appoint someone who probably has the most analytical, autistic, smartest, most effective, sharpest brain in the freaking world to audit the government. That is wild. So of course people are going to be upset. They're going to be so upset because their scheme is getting revealed, and they use it through the modality of us and siphoning it from us. And then what they do is they use the mainstream media and the whole media machine to psyop you, to then make you a parrot of the system that is taking the money from you. So it's crazy. It's like what's that syndrome where you have kidnapper syndrome? What's that syndrome called? Where you start to love your kidnapper. What is that called? Help. What is it called? It's a type of syndrome that happens where if you start to feel bad and start to love the person that had kidnapped you and has been abusing you. What is it called? Because that's literally how a portion of the American people are acting right now, where they've been abused so much and have been manipulated that now they're going to defend him. It's like, whoa, what is happening? And yeah, no, you do have a good point though. Now with the Melania coin, terrible. Yeah. But I'm not going to blame Trump. You know who I blame? His sons. I think his sons were complete degenerates and they're like, yeah, let's see how we can shake up the Solana ecosystem and extract and make everyone swap out of their Solana bags to nuke all of the Solana coins that were bullish to go into Trump coin. That was the biggest PvP attack I think I've ever seen on chain, where literally everyone's bags got destroyed to try and go into Trump. Then if you didn't get into Trump fast enough, but then the next day Melania released the coin, everyone dumped the Trump coin to get in Melania, and then Melania was rugged. It was a nightmare. But that's just like 2 days in crypto. Get used to it. That's just 2 days, bro, in crypto. So yeah, those two coins and a lot of everything else that does the same damn thing. So it's just the fact that it was the president's meme coin that makes it a little bit more interesting. But the scope of, quote, laundering money, if that was the case of the Trump coin and Melania coin, probably doesn't even scratch the damn surface of the amount of money that's probably being laundered with our tax dollar, with our Social Security, whatever it is, all the stuff. They're just like, yeah, you're going to pay into Social Security so then we can tell you when you get to retire and when you get that money, and we ain't even going to give it all back. Because by the time you even get to that age, we hope you're sick and in the hospital with some kind of thing, so then you're on some kind of crazy insurance plan, and we can just siphon you even more. Sounds sinister, because it is. And it's kind of the truth. But until you can break out of the matrix and know that the whole system's rigged against you, then you are going to be slapped up into the system. All right, I think we tried to end the stream like 7 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, or however long ago. But thanks for hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all the people that came in to the YouTube, and thanks to all of the new subscribers, new people, new watchers. I really appreciate it. We do these streams Monday through Friday. The time has been kind of jumpy. I haven't figured out exactly we were going at 11:30, but I felt like I just, up until 11:30, I was like wanting to stream up until that time. And so we moved it back an hour. I don't know if that's a good time, but I think maybe 11. I think we started at 11 o'clock. Let's see. Did we start at 11 o'clock? Yeah, just about 11 o'clock. So yeah, maybe we'll make it an 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock start. I think that'll be a good time to get this thing rolling, and we will do our best to keep bringing you some of this, this new stuff, some of the things that we're trying to test, whatever coins we're watching, the bullish news, watching Bitcoin. We're giving you our long-term thesis so you don't freak out and think the bull market is over. And we hope we're doing a good job at all of that. But without you guys watching and hit the like button, there would be no show. There would be no show. So we appreciate you. All right. Well, we'll see you later. Man, it's crazy. I don't know where all these people came from. If the bots, are they bots? Are they real people? I don't know. All right. Enjoy the outro. Peace.